everybody, Mr. BadMae here with yet another build video for you all. Today we will be taking a look at none other than the freshly reworked FreightShaker or Freightliner Coronado from Jon Ruda. Big thank you to Jon Ruda and his team over there for giving me access to the truck here in order to show all of you guys. If you guys are interested in the truck, you can head on over to his website and use code BadMae, just like the channel, capital B, capital M, at checkout. And you can save $5 off this truck or any of his mods, honestly. So do go check him out over at his website at Jon Ruda. And don't forget that code is BadMae. And while you're at it, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, leave a like, all the good stuff. Hit the bell for notifications. And without further ado, let's get into this truck. So currently I have this thing in a day cab configuration, as you can tell. It is kind of a personal favorite of mine, just the day cabs in general. But he does have the day cab, obviously. He has a midroof. He has an XT, which adds a little top there. And then he has the raised roof. So just depending on what look you're going for, if you're into this stylish truck, he has you covered. So let's just go into what all the bells and whistles are here. When we're looking at chassis, the chassis are pretty similar across all of the cabs. Jon Ruda is usually pretty good about doing this. Much appreciated. Gives us a lot of build variety. So if we just flip through all of them here from the top, we'll start with the little shoebox looking trucks. These are one of my personal favorites. These are fun to drive. I don't know if you've ever shrunk a truck like this, but they are a lot of fun in ATS to drive. And the other thing to mention as well, all of Jon Ruda's FreightShakers are compatible in both ATS2 and ATS. So regardless of which game you drive in, if you think a truck like this, even this little short guy, if you think a truck like this would be fun to drive, or in the case of ETS2, right, a little tiny truck like this would fit perfectly in a lot of the depots over there. I've driven this truck in ETS2, and I can tell you it has no issue at all with the roads. So without further ado, let's just jump through here. And you kind of see the nose is changing. There's a short nose and then you have a long nose. It's the difference between the 130 or the 122 and the 132 is the length of the nose. We just keep going through here. And then you can see here, classic. If you see that wording, that's kind of his indication that it's changing the front. So you get different headlights, right? If we come back here, you can see this is more of a boxed look. I kind of prefer this one myself, but I do have my truck currently configured on this one, mainly because of these running boards. And these running boards look fantastic when you build them all out. If we go back to how my truck was, and we take a quick look here, you can see here this running board sweeps down and continues all the way to the back. I like that a lot. That's very well done by Jon Ruda and the team over there. That's quite nice. Might be the first time I've seen that in ATS. I think I've seen it on a couple of trucks in ETS too, but over in ATS, that might be the first time I've seen that done, at least done properly. But if we continue through here, you can see he's got, let's see, where's his 6x4s? Again, similar length chassis so far, but his chassis do get quite long. And all of these chassis are available for all the different cabs. So whether you want the day cab, you see here it's getting longer and longer. Now it's getting very long. All right, these things it gets massive. You come all the way down to like this guy here, right? Like that's a long truck. Put the roof on it, and then you can do a similar thing here. Right, if you want to really go big with this truck, you could do it. So just between cabs and chassis, you have a lot to choose from. So I'm going to go ahead back to how my truck was so I can best show you guys what's going on. So all your standard engines, transmissions, they're of course changeable. You can add to them, all that stuff. I've got my own engine pack in here. Um, his truck does come with a slew already. So if we disable my engine pack, you can see his over here. He has a good mix of Creech bomb sounds. Some of these, some of these sounds I use in my own engine pack, to be honest. Um, and they do sound really, really good. But there's a great variety of sounds in here, so you kind of have to flip through them and figure out which suits you. Um, yeah, that's a whole other video talking about engine sound. So Jon Ruda did a really good job for standard paints as well as he always does. You can see there's no lack of them here. He even shows you his template. So if you ever go to paint your own skin, which will be next on my list, this is kind of the template you'd be working with. Obviously, not a 3D rendering of it, but it gives you an idea, right? So you kind of tell, well, you see all these lines are scrunched up. You will see that in the template. That means you're coming up on a curve. In this case, obviously, it's a curve to the back. So those are just little guides. Again, another video for another time for how to skin trucks. So he does have his gloss multicolor. I really like his flames here. I may convert that into a metallic paint. We'll see. Again, a lot of options to choose from, even for the base truck. Very, very impressive. I like the variety. I might even change my truck up when it's all said and done. Some of these are really, really slick. I like them. Like them a lot. Didn't intend to leave it on that color, but I do like these. There we go. We'll just leave it on that for now. I do like the paints a lot. Um, so trick to building out these custom trucks, these custom modded trucks. I typically come in from the side. That's so that if you look at it this way, right, you've got dots for days and you end up clicking on something and it's like, where's this go? Under cab pillar. Where you click up here and it's like, why do I have a flag? Right. Now you're changing stuff on the inside of the truck. So a little tip for building out these trucks, I do like to come in at an angle kind of like this, or even if I can get the nodes to show up, I'll come at it straight on the side. But this allows me to say, okay, these 5, 6 here deal with the grill. So here's the logo. If I want to change that, right, I can do so. The outer rim of the grill here, if I want to change that to chrome or anything like that, I can do so. The other nice thing that Jon Ruda put in here is this RGB feature. I've seen this on more and more trucks recently. I think some people are just learning from Jon Ruda. I suppose John maybe came up with the idea. I'm not for sure, but nonetheless, it's really good to see. So what this allows you to do is recolor individual pieces of the truck. So I could have a red nose, I could have black side, front mirrors. I could have, white side mirrors if I wanted. And you could really go crazy with the color scheme on this truck. I do tend to keep mine uniform. We have the front grille. He has a lot of options here for front grills, so you can have vertical, horizontal, different styles, and then different nettings and things like that, depending on whatever suits you. Headlights, so you can go with painted, chrome, or custom color. So there's the painted one, kind of blends in. Not bad actually. You saw the chrome earlier, and then here's a painted option, right? Again, not bad. Next here we have a winter cover. So if we want to put a cover over the top of the truck, we can do that. Boom. Keep the engine nice and warm in the cold weather. And then his guards. The guard I have on is this chrome piece that goes below the grill here. But you can swap this to anything you would like, colored or custom colored. I do prefer chrome. He has with and without the centerpiece, by the way. That's why there's 1 and 2. So if we go to 2, you will see it follows all the way across the middle. Oops. Let's go here so you can see that better. There you go. So again, any color you wish. Then his front bumper, of course, he has different bumper options for the different hood types. So if you don't like any of these bumpers, you can simply swap. Now, what I noticed unique about this bumper here is the fog lights. Um, he does have 2 types, right? He has bumper 1, which is a little bit lifted up a little bit and curved a touch, or you can go with bumper 2, similar light placement, a little bit more straight across. But the unique thing is right here, you can actually do inserts. Right, there's a chrome insert. We could remove it and have nothing there if we wished. Or if you want to go with a guard, you could throw a guard there and it would be mounted out of that centerpiece there. Again, looks really good. And of course, you can color those if you wish. If you want to go with a smaller one, same thing. Again, very nice options. If you wanted to say the heck with it and go with the moose bumper, you can always do that as well. Replace the whole bumper. Looks very good. I'm a big fan of this guy or the other chrome bumper myself, so I'll just stick with that. They do have fog lights in there as well. Go ahead and plug the holes here. Um, you can change the little chrome pieces here on the sides. Plastic, OEM color, again, similar theming. You guys see what I mean now by like the RGB and all that stuff. I'm a big fan of chrome myself. I'll leave that there. Hood mirrors. We have a lot of new options for hood mirrors. So we have all of the standard ones, kind of like I have on there now. These are all new. You can have a plastic black piece that connects it, or you could go full chrome even. Right, that doesn't look bad either. If you like the older style mirrors, you can go with that. Right. Or you can have the ones that stand up or point out like antennas. However you want to configure this thing. Quite a few options. You go ahead and put that back. For hood ornaments, that's the last thing on the hood. He's got swans, ducks, and the OEM arrowhead, if you will. Shields. So the shield is right here. Currently, I have it set to paint. Change it to chrome so you guys can see that. This is the shield. The right here, your filters. This is currently I have it painted as black. We can go with chrome. You can change the light color if you wish. It's kind of the two big options. So he's got a couple small lights here. Or if you come here, that will all change to clear. His mirrors are similar. So he's got little lights that run across the top and bottom, plus any light you hit in the middle. You can have them chromed out. You could go with a clear cover, or you could go with an orange cover. And it's the same mirror, but different color schemes. Let's see. His visor. Again, as always, he has a ton of visor options. I like being able to see out of my windscreen, so I tend to go with the smaller options. But I do know some people like, the big bulky visor. So if that's you, He's got a few in here so that you can see your visor out of the cab. Right. I know some people really like that. I'm just going to leave that there for now. We have a under cab filler. So that is this thing right here. So if I change that to not installed, you'll notice now I can see in there a little bit, right? Put it back to cab filler, and that should prevent us from seeing in there too much. And here is the cabin panel, which is the line here that has the lights on the left and right hand side of the truck. He has options when they're blanked out like this with no light on it, means you get to choose the light. If I come up here and click this one, then Jon Ruda chooses the light for me and pre-fills it, which I can appreciate that. It simplifies the build, it unifies the lights, and yeah, quite nice. Because you see, he has another one up here in the front. That one is from this node here. So all your lights would be matching if you went with that. Let's see, what do we have here? That's the rear tank. Not quite ready for that yet. So here's the front step. A lot of options here as well. Everything from these front tanks, various different storage boxes. Let's see, we'll just go with this guy so you guys can see what changes up. Again, RGB style coloring. Really do appreciate the customability here. It's very well done. Here's the running board. So you can choose running board full, which is what I did, and that takes it all the way to the rear of the truck. I could do painted and then black it out and run with it that way. So if I wanted to delete all the chrome off the truck and have everything blacked out, I could do that. I know that's the look some people go for. And you can delete pretty much all the chrome off this truck. I don't think there'd be any chrome left if we did that. You could go all RGB everywhere, black everything out. Again, I know that's another way that a lot of people like to run their trucks. What other options do we have here? It's interior, interior, interior. So Jon Ruda's beacons, as always. All right, he's got his like tow truck style beacon up top. That is my personal favorite. But if you like the little cones, you can do the little cones as well. Actually, it doesn't look too bad on this truck. He's got his standard light adapters. Throw some bullet lights up there. Standard horn. Oh, there's his antennas. That just goes on top of the mirrors here. And then standard horn options for Ruda. You got your quad horns, square type A, square type B. Again, not a bad option among them. Exhaust. So you can see I have like the flamethrower style exhaust on here. I think they call them Tech 9s. If you wanted to bend and have them angled and all that kind of stuff, you can do that as well. Various different ways. I have the 8-inch pipes on. There are smaller pipes. Here's the brackets. So if you don't like chrome, you could do paint or the RGB. Paint them anything you want. Let's see. Here's the exhaust pipes size. So again, I have them RGB, so I painted them black. But if I wanted to go chrome, I could chrome them out. And you'll notice the top's reset. I have to go select my top again. But if I wanted to go with smaller pipes, I could do that. I could go with 6 inches. So again, whichever way you prefer, which is what's great about this truck, and honestly, all of Ruda's FreightShakers, the Coronado, the 125, the XL, all of these trucks are fantastic, and I don't feel like people give them enough playtime or even airtime. So your interior lighting, again, you guys are probably all familiar with that. If you're familiar with Ruda, this is your in-cabin glow. So when you turn your beacon on, at night, this is the color that would dominate the cab. You have blue, green, purple, red, and standard. I've got mine on standard at the moment. Let's see. Here's your side window chop. So if you're into these things, I don't personally run them, but I know a lot of people do. It just blocks the top half of the windows. Again, he's got chrome colored or RGB, kind of an ongoing theme here. Um, he did add headache rack, so that is a new addition to the Coronado. Well, Jon Ruda's Coronado, anyways. Um, the If you don't want the headache rack, then you would have an option. Let me find the headache rack. So if you didn't want to run this, you do have the option on the back of this cab to run, 2 or 4 lights. You can, let's see, the plate here, you could do a full plate like I've done. Or you could go with the base options or something more chopped up. Where is the plate? Here we go. So he's got everything from base colored to base chrome, base black. Here's the base chrome. Right, again, very shiny. Aluminum, and then of course you can do full, which is what I had on there just a moment ago. If we do like full black, you'll see that there. Another version of full black, which is a straight, or you could do full chrome. Not really a bad option among them. I do really like this truck. Chassis frame, again, painted, RGB, or black. A whole bunch of fender options. So I currently have the single axle on here because it blends in with the full running board. But he's got a bunch of different axle covers or fenders. You can change the back of the truck up. This is essentially the little fold that happens as it goes from the top of the truck down to the back. So if I change it to black, you guys can see what's going on. There you go, that little piece. I usually run mine as chrome so it's seamless. And then your covers back here, your mud flaps, he has them both static to help cut down on the demands of multiplayer. Or you can have them animated. A good slew of options here. You can of course put your own logos on them if you wish. You just got to go through the open def to do it. That's the tire, suspension. Again, your 3 different options. You guys kind of get the vibe here. Jon Ruda's underglow light, the bottom light that he's well known for. Typical colors you would see from him. Blue, green, orange, red, all of that. Again, I do believe you can add or edit colors in the open def. Chassis air tanks. Now, I've got a bunch of crap here, so you're not gonna be able to see mine. But let's see. Yeah, if we can get under the truck. There we go. All right. So that is the air tanks right here. We go back to RGB. Right there's the air tanks. So if you're into those, you can have them there. The rear tank, again, he's got a whole bunch of options here and RGB throughout them. I really, really, really do like the RGB options that he has. It gives you more agency over how you build your truck. Can't recommend this enough, guys. Really can't. The workmanship and quality and everything that has gone into this is crazy. Jon Ruda has outdone himself, and his team have outdone themselves with this one. and I will do a video in the upcoming days as well for the Cascadia 125. That truck is another one that's spectacular. If you're into the aero style trucks, the 125 is amazing. Let's jump into the interior. I feel like we've kind of gone around the truck on the outside. Let's jump in here. We have two options for the interior. This is the new one that you guys are looking at that he added recently. Now I've obviously changed the colors. This is the old one, right? Severe duty. Yeah, pretty traditional looking inside. I think it's probably from the 90s, if I had to guess. Maybe early 2000s. And then this is the new dash he added with the latest update. Both are really good. I do have my dash light mod in here, so it changes what these glow at the night, but they do look really, really good. And now you saw I had everything changed up. He has a whole bunch of different wheel colors. So if you're going for any particular paint themes, Jurassic Park, like one of my previous skins there, green and red kind of thing, or red and blue, how I had it when you guys just saw. You can change the top. We had the blue panel, but he has a bunch of options here. So kind of pick your favorite color. Wood decoration, right? So you can change all the different wood paneling. It even changes, just noticed that, it even changes the steering wheel. So like, you see this one kind of similar to what you see in the new Volvo V&L, to be honest. Matches up pretty closely. I do like the carbon fiber look, both the black look. White is good too, and red. These all match different color themes. So I was kind of going for the Superman vibe. Black that out. That's your sidewall there. You can come back here. You could black this out if you wished. Add it as blue. Back to blue. Blue here, or I could black this out to kind of match that over there, or I can go with red like I had. And let's change the stuff outside. His CB radio is here? No. Right there's the radio. You can choose whatever radio you would like. And all the typical Cecil support and all that is obviously supported. Change your seat. Whatever color you'd like. Armrest up or down. Fit your little stuff in there. Change the seatbelt color. Change your carpet color. We just gotta find it. And then your shifter. Whatever shifter you like. All right. So that is majority of the menus for the updated Jon Ruda Coronado. Again, you can build this any which way you would like. Very similar options across all of the chassis. And that's his bigger chassis, a quick glance there. Escape out of here. And then the truck drives extremely well.
Caution. Please mind the speed limit. Caution. Please watch the speed limit. Caution. Please mind the speed limit. Caution. Please.
This will probably end up being the truck I drive for a little while. I like to put 50 to 100,000 miles on these trucks when I build them, usually. Get a really good feel for them. Yeah, I'm personally really enjoying this one. So if you guys like this, again, head on over to Jon Ruda's website. Use that code BadMae to save $5 off the truck, and let Jon know I sent you over there. And if you guys have any questions or anything like that, make sure to leave a comment down below. I do try to reply to each and every single one of them. And again, smash that like button, guys. Hit that bell for notifications.
Caution.
You don't want to miss any of my upcoming videos. There's quite a few builds coming out, quite a few mod updates coming out regarding free mods, things like that. So do stay tuned, stick around, and stay safe, everybody. Keep on trucking, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.